not reflected by the Democratic Party in Congress. There's a massive gap, a massive disconnect between you guys and your base. Do you accept that you guys in Congress, especially in the Senate, but across the House and Senate, are out of touch with your base when it comes to Israel?
I would say that I have been a strong supporter of Israel. Of course, the Israel that I grew up with, of Moshe Dayan and Abba Eban and others, is very different than the Israel that my kids grew up with, of Bibi Netanyahu, who basically have known no other Israeli leader. And the horror of what has happened in Gaza is inexcusable. Any Palestinian life, any Israeli life that's lost is awful. I would also say we should not forget what happened on October 7th as well, which was horrific. So it has taken me probably longer than many of my friends have liked, and to make the distinction that you can be supportive of Israel and its right to exist, but not agree with the Netanyahu government. And I recently have taken action on this, and my base will cross the, and my feeling is not just my base, I got to answer to every Virginian, where I stood up, and for a long time stood up against, for example, the sale of bulldozers to do what's happening on the West Bank. What's happening on the West Bank is horrific as well.
On that vote specifically, I was going to ask you that later, but since you brought it up, your colleague Bernie Sanders had this joint resolution of disapproval, JRD, which he did in 24, 25, and 26 to try and block bombs and bulldozers from going to Israel. You voted against both JRDs in 2024 and 2025. This year, you voted in favor of the motion to block the sale of bulldozers to Israel, but you voted against blocking the sale of 1,000-pound bombs to Israel. Number one, what changed for you? Because you changed your vote. Number two, how is it okay for Israel to have bombs but not bulldozers when the bombs kill far more people and do far more destruction than bulldozers?
I would also say that the bombs, if used appropriately, could be in defense of a country. But again, you have every right, and I hear this from Virginians regularly. And part of my job, I feel like, is I get hired. I'm going to use my best judgment on these things. I look at every one of these individually. There may be future votes, and I'm not going to make any commitment, but you will see when I vote. I would add one thing, and I know we've got more questions on Israel. I'd be happy to. I would hope that as more people die in Sudan every day than Gaza and Ukraine combined. I am right to be criticized for having been slow on the travesty of what's happened in Gaza. But I would also beg people